What's up, guys? Bienvenue a mi casa and welcome back for your weekly dose of travel news, where we talk about all the crazy stuff happening in the travel world. Now, it's something about airports that make us all a little more impatient. This is especially true when we're waiting to get our bag. Watching that belt go around and around, looking, making sure nobody stole our bags, and your bag is nowhere to be found. Something inside you tell you, just go back there and see what's going on. Reports came out this week. That's exactly what a few passengers decided to do. Video footage caught two passengers real live going through the conveyor belt. I'm talking about knees and elbows, knees and elbows, elbows and knees, elbows and knees, real live going through the conveyor belt and asking employees if they needed some help. PSA, I know it's something about the flying process that can bring on a lot of anxiety. Trust me, I know. But to all my airplane just landed outstanders. If you are outstander, right below, I'm guilty. Right below, ma'am, we are in row 28 of 32. Unless you know about a secret exit, we are not getting off of this plane anytime soon. You can sit down, relax, finish your bag of peanuts, finish that movie, because we got about another 10 or 15 minutes. So just sit down, chill out, be good. If anything, by standing up, you're just clogging the aisleway. Other people pop up. Everybody starting trying to grab their bags, and it's mayhem. So just stay seated, relax, we're gonna get off the plane. But it is never a good idea to try to force your way through the process. Anybody who might try to real life military their way behind the conveyor belt, grab their bags and get to where they're going, let me give you a piece of advice. Before you do that, I want you to take a moment, take a deep breath, wait maybe 5 minutes, then go head to the customer service booth. The reality is, if you've been waiting over an hour to get your bags, more than likely, they're not coming out on this conveyor belt. Save yourself the stress, save yourself the headache, go to the customer service booth, report it, and let the airline do their job. Head to your destination. You might want to head to the mall first because you probably don't got no clothes. But if you can, head to your destination and get your vacation started. All right, guys, our next story is a serious one. During an emergency landing this week, co-pilot Charlie Crooks lost his life, and due to the information surrounding the incident, there's been a debate going on whether he jumped from the plane, fell out the plane, or even if he was pushed. Now, personally, I didn't think of this as much of a debate. Clearly, nobody's gonna jump 4,000 feet from a plane, but audio recording was recently released of the emergency call made by the primary pilot, and it did cause me to raise my eyebrows. Let's check it out.
Emergency, we've lost our right wheel.
For the first time, audio from inside the cockpit during an emergency landing near Raleigh, North Carolina.
How do you intend to land at Raleigh, Durham? Get as slow as we can, and I guess we're gonna put it on the belly.
The thing that caught my attention was how calm the pilot was. When I first heard this story, I imagined the plane shaking. I imagined it being pure chaos. And for that reason, the pilot was unable to determine if the co-pilot jumped or fell out the airplane. But from all estimations, it seemed like things were pretty cool. It seemed like the main pilot had everything under control. So I think he would know if his co-pilot jumped or fell out of the plane. The second thing that made me raise the eyebrow was the actual problem to the plane. When I first heard the story, I thought maybe it was an engine problem, maybe a wing fell off, but it was actually a wheel problem, which doesn't seem like a problem that would cause somebody to jump out of a plane or even to fall. Now, of course, I've never flown an airplane in my life. I could barely fly a freaking drone, so I don't know anything, but let me know below, guys. Are the details making sense? Do you think the co-pilot jumped from the plane? Do you think the co-pilot fell out of the plane? Or do you think that for whatever reason he was pushed? For all my folks who've been traveling after the pandemic, you know air travel right now is the wild, wild west. Cancellations have skyrocketed, delays have skyrocketed, and airlines want no parts. They want no parts of taking accountability. They will offer you 150 things, and none of those options will be your money back. They will not ask you if you want your money. They will not ask you if you want card, check, PayPal, Cash App. They won't ask you none of that. The DOT, the Department of Transportation, has introduced a bill that will make airlines accountable. Airlines will now have to clearly state that a cash refund will be given for all cancellations and significant delays. But all jokes aside, this is a major win for traveler rights. Countries in Europe, the EU, UK, already light years ahead of us in traveler protection rights. So hopefully this evens out the playing field and gives us the protection we need to actually buy a flight and know we're gonna get where we need to go. In 2022 is mind-blowing. There's almost no regulation in air travel. Airlines can change your flight leaving from Houston to now leaving from Dallas, from landing in New York to landing in New Jersey. And of course the argument is, hey, it's only 90 minutes, it's only 60-minute drive. That's not where I brought my ticket to. Imagine getting on a bus and you buy a bus ticket to go to one place and they drop you off 60 minutes away. And bus lines usually get it right because there's regulations in place. But airlines could care less. There's nothing that's gonna happen to them. Usually they're gonna offer you a credit, you're gonna accept the credit, that credit is gonna expire, and you're never gonna see that money or that flight another day. Now, as it stands, the policy will force airlines to offer a cash refund for any domestic flight delayed 3 hours or more, or any international flight delayed 6 hours or more. Also, if your departure airport is changed or your arrival airport is changed. I don't know about you, but I'm hyped, so put some dollar signs below. I wanna see them dollar signs. I wanna see them dollar signs below if you think this is good news. Put some dollar signs below. We gonna cash out. We gonna get them refunds. Guys, this last story for me is a crazy one because I didn't even know this was a thing. News came out this week that a mother wasn't able to pick up her unaccompanied minor from an American airline flight. I've heard of the term unaccompanied minor. I'm gonna be honest, I've heard of this term. I didn't think anybody used this form of traveling. I jumped on Google. I gotta figure it out. I gotta see what this is about. The unaccompanied minor policy is a big thing and tons of people use it. The policy lets a parent or guardian drop off the minor where they'll be unaccompanied until they arrive to their destination. Now, the problem with the American airline flight was the parent updated the person who was picking up the minor's contact information when he got to the airport. Per policy, American Airlines staff should have updated this in the system, but of course they didn't. Of course they did. So when the child arrived to the airport, they're looking around. They don't see nobody. Now, American Airlines did try to fix this problem real time. They called the child's father, they didn't get a response. I get it, they're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Technically, you can't give a child to somebody who's not listed in the system. That would be a bigger problem. But of course, the airline staff at the departing airport should have updated the information and this wouldn't have been a problem. Luckily, I guess as a plan B, when this happens, when the parent updates the information at the airport, they write it down, they jot it down, and they put a sticker on the child with the updated information. So when the child finally got to the airport, they were able to see the mother's name on this information card and they was able to release the child. Now let me know, guys, maybe I just come from a whole different era, but when I was young, our parents didn't even want us going to the store by ourselves. It seems to me a bit much to put a child on the airplane by themselves. I couldn't do it, I couldn't imagine that. But after I sat and thought about it, it doesn't make sense. When you have two different parents in two different states, you probably don't want to get on a flight with the kid, take him to see the other parent, just to drop him off, get back on a flight, go home, get back on a flight, and go pick up the kid. But you guys tell me, man, I mean, looking into this, I've seen stories of airlines losing kids, tags being misplaced, all type of stuff. I think this could be very risky if it's not done correct. But let me know below. Guys, we're gonna cut it here. I hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe, share this video, get the word out. I'll be with you next week. Deuces.